Good morning, my beautiful YouTube people. A little sticker for my daughter. I am testing out my Christmas present for my buddy Layton. He's not here right now, but he got me the DJI mic minis. You see it right there. I'm testing that out right this second on this episode. So hopefully you guys can get some terrific audio from me this round. This is part 2 of episode 2 of the one-day Dyna build, which is obviously going to have to be the one-day Dyna build, not the one-day Dyna build, because this is like day 6 of my one-day build. So, without further ado, let's get started. Well, everybody, I screwed up. Put the wrong torque on the lock plate, the pulley there. So I gotta crack this back off of here. Shouldn't be a big deal. I don't think yet. Did Loctite them, but I did also lubricate them. So I will have to re-Loctite them. No big deal. No big. Well, what would be a big deal is not having the correct torque on that socket lock plate. That would be a big deal if that thing decided to lock back on me. I'm gonna have to relock that thing. Oh my lord. Oh. That would work good. These guys there. I'm supposed to put 10 foot-pounds, and I put 10 inch-pounds. So, back this guy up. 10 foot-pounds. Oh yeah, that was really loose. It's not coming back off. There it is. Okay. That should be good. I'm put some fresh Loctite on the back of this. Medium strength Loctite. 2, 4, 3. Alright, I'm going to set this real light before I use that again. There is an order to this. That was the order, roughly. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Consider. Oh my, this is heavy. Ow! Be careful of that. Definitely a little pinch finger hazard. Okay, those are on there. By the way, this is Milwaukee Twins, part number BT0617, manual primary chain adjuster. We're supposed to replace the stock one. So I set aside all the spacers and stuff from the old one. It's always a good idea to be, you know, organized. I failed to be organized. So, does cover all those. So it doesn't appear to use the spacers. I don't have any instructions for it. It did not come with instructions. So that's something. So that goes here. And then it looks like maybe this goes here. Yeah, I see it pushing on there. Oh, so that's loose. Seems to be right. Go 15 and 19 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna put 15 on. That feels a little light, so I'm actually gonna put 15, 16, 18 on. 18 foot-pounds. I'm going to use my brand new bolt. This is genuine Harley Davidson compensator screw number 105 00031. I got this directly from Dark Horse. It is definitely a T70 drive. So there. I went and got my big boy torque wrench. I'm gonna have to look that spec back up. Okay, so this one starts at 100, and then you loosen it, and then jam it down to 140. You know, they say not to use these. I'm just gonna put it there. Crank loose. Here, crank loose. Half a turn, and up to 140. 140 foot-pounds. This is interesting. Okay. 140 foot-pounds. She's all there, guys. Off there. I already wire brushed that. I don't really know how much it needs in there, so I'm just gonna put some. This is reverse threaded. 75. Put my no thing in there. This is all over the manual. I'm about to use that guy. That's proper. Now, about adjusting this. Let me get this close, and then I'm going to Loctite it. Alright, and I have to look up a spec for an older Harley. I think that's probably about right, to be honest. But I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, well, I couldn't find a rope connector. So I'm going to clean up this drain pan here. Real good. See how long I end up letting it soak. You're supposed to soak all these frictions. I'll lay them out so I can fill this thing as little as possible. Oh boy, this is interesting. interesting to get back in the bottle there. That did not cover them all the way. Yeah, definitely get some more covered. Alright, so I'm going to give them a soak for 15 minutes here, like this. They are mostly covered in there. Now I'm going to flip them around. So, come back in a little bit. While those are soaking, I guess I can disassemble this old clutch. It's a little bit windy. Should probably close the garage door. But, you know, to warp anything on here. Until all that tension is off of the spring plate. Let's just zip them out. Alright, I got those soaking. I can flip them. I'll pause you guys while I look this up. You guys over here with me. Not that you can see anything, but this is bad light over here. I got too windy, so I'm gonna just clean these up, put this fresh gasket on there, and torque it down. You're not gonna be able to see this, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop you guys. ARP hardware, 95 to 120 inch-pounds. Just wipe this down with some brake cleaner. That way it don't take the paint off. Yeah. All right, so the molar isn't installed. I got the ARP bolts in there, all torqued down to 120 inch-pounds. And now we can get back to the other side. Alright, one more look at the beautiful fueling hardware. I'm going to get these prepped up to hold the primary on, the primary cover. Get all this stuff covered up. It is getting a little windy. I don't want to get dirt and crap all up in it. And it comes with this ARP Molly lube. So I'm just going to put a little dab underneath each of the heads of these. A washer in each one. An old blue Loctite. Alright, got my Loctite, got them all dabbed up. Lock. There. Get the gasket situated here. Cover. One of these guys in there. Hang this. Okay. Just get all these guys in there. Finger tight. Most of these torque sequences are like start in the middle and work your way out the zigzag pattern. So that's just all that. I'll wing it. Alright, this is where I'm at now. Put the clutch in, cover on, got the muller on the other side. It's time to get the clutch cable somewhat adjusted. So I can actually adjust this clutch here. Alright guys. Got the primary filled up in there. Just right up to the gasket. The edge of the clutch spring, so it might be a little underfull. That's probably better to start there. Now we get to put in some of the funner stuff, like replacement for this. We'll put in this is super little, but beautiful. Alright, wrapped in. Thrashing shift linkage is on. Buffer ring on there. So, screw nut off. This one has a lock nut on it. Good move, guys. Good move. Remember, of course, I'm going to have that fancy ARP hardware up. Let's see that. Last, but not least, my thrashing shorty shifter nub. And I'm going to tighten that to the same as that cover over there, to 110 inches. Yeah. All right, time for a break. Here we are. It's day 5, the one-day build. Today, hopefully, I'm going to be putting it back together. Right now, I am getting these ARP bolts ready for the trapdoor side of the transmission. For these guys here. So I pulled one out to size it up. I'm going to pull them out one at a time. I'm going to pull them out one at a time and replace them one at a time, so that hopefully I don't have any leaks and I have to replace that gasket. Let's see how this... And this is ARP specific. I'm putting it under the heads, like so. That was a bit much. So, as far as I understand, it only takes a little tiny bit, and that just gives you a true torque reading. I'll put some gloves on. All right, that is so that the screw doesn't gall. I'm using the chamfer side towards the screw. Spread that lube around. Keep that Sano. Don't disassemble themselves after I install them. Let's see, our torque spec for that is, here is the side door hardware. Okay, that is the torque down procedure. 13 to 18 foot-pounds. So we'll go 18 foot-pounds. Very good. Alright, there's those beautiful hardwares inside that. Alright, it's time for the control to go back on. According to ChatGPT, mid-set's 35 foot-pounds. Quite a bit, I guess. I put gobs of blue Loctite. I'm gonna go with 38 foot-pounds. Because that seems a little bit light to me. See these with the blue Loctite. And that's one rig set back in place. Now, it's time to get my exhaust cleaned up. Get that rig back on. I've elected not to use the ARP fasteners because they are self-locking fasteners, and that always has caused me issues using a locking nut on the exhaust, because when you go to take it out, it takes the whole stud out, and then it's almost impossible to remove the nut from the stud, and it becomes a bolt. And at that point, it's like, why didn't you just use bolts? You know what I mean? So, I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to get my exhaust cleaned up here. Clean up this exhaust. I'm just going to use some of this red Scotch-Brite and buff off this bluing with it. I'm gonna go wild. I do want to clean it up some, because it does kind of help you keep track of temperature. Alright, it's time for me to bolt the starter back on. I can't reach it in a way that you guys will be able to see anyways, so I'm going to do that. Alright guys, whenever you're pulling your exhaust, always use brand new exhaust gaskets. I already pulled the ones out. It's on the other side of the bike, so it's going to be kind of hard to see. I'm going to pop these in, get my exhaust installed. We're getting really close. After that, it's just going to be a matter of cycling some stuff and, you know, whatever. Alright guys, got it all back together. All I have to do is put that primary cover on. Topped off the fluid in there. It might be a little bit low. We'll run it and then check it again later on. But now it's time to put that derby cover on and start her up. Alright guys, well, this is the beginning of, what is this, day 3 for part 2. So day 5 for my 1-day build. And I'm really just buttoning things back up. My camera died yesterday while I was putting the exhaust back on. And while I put the derby cover on. So I'll show you guys those things. But yeah, I'm just buttoning it up and should be good to go. I got an appointment at 1:30 to go over to Black Gold here in Daytona Beach to get the back tire aligned. They don't have anybody to put a tire on yet, but all along I'm gonna button this up and then we'll be off and get that tire. Right, derby cover, ARP hardware, all that beautiful ARP hardware from fueling. My traction supply shifter, we're gonna tighten that up. Traction supply shifter linkage, traction supply bars and risers that we did in the last episode. Got my exhaust all repolished up, and the ARP hardware on the transmission. Over at Black Gold, getting my alignment done. They've already pushed the bike out into the back. Thank you, Josh. Some other stuff going on here. Pretty cool shop there. All sorts of the stuff. All the stuff.
And those are you know, so you get into it, you know, and then I need enough room for the controls. You know, it's not like I can whatever.
Alright guys, well, thanks for popping into my channel. Thanks for watching this episode. I did have to put it back together with that old race. The race just came in the mail today, of course. Big shout out to Black Gold Cycles in Daytona Beach for hooking it up with a rear alignment. And I'll be popping in there Friday for a tire. So stay tuned for that, because I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a shop tour, and a little bit of a history of Black Gold Cycles at Daytona Beach in the next episode. Thanks again. God bless. Be good to each other out there. Keep it real. Keep it on 2 wheels. Shiny side up. All those things. All right. Peace.